What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Weezy. Welcome to Jay Weezy's World. I am headed to the gym. It is just after 10 a.m. out here in Arizona. It is a beautiful day. It is May 4th, and I wanted to check in with you guys. I'm in such a great mood. Your boy Jay Weezy is back, feeling good. I'm mentally feeling so much better. I've been a person my entire life that has always prided myself in just never even thinking about it, just like always in a good mood. And I explained in my last video, I'm not going to get into it too much, but I just wasn't me. I'm back to who I am. I feel fantastic. So let's do a little bit of a recap and get you caught up a little bit. So my last YouTube short that I posted, or my only YouTube short, was around a 5K, and first, extremely proud of myself for doing it. Went from just sitting on the couch the last few years to my wife hitting me up, and she's been on her grind the last few months, saying, hey, you want to go ahead and do a 5K? Let's sign up. And she's like, this could be a starting point for us. And that's exactly the way I took it, is let me do something that's going to push myself and just be difficult. So about 2 or 3 weeks out, because we did it within kind of, I guess you could say, short notice, sign up for the 5K, went to the gym, went to Phoenix College, hit the track down there, would do a couple miles each go around, whether if it's at the track or if it's at the gym, and just try to get my wind underneath me. And by the time I did the 5K, trust me, I was dying. My legs and calves were burning that first mile and a half. And, but I finished it. My wife dusted me. She was way at the finish line, probably 20 minutes before I finished. And super proud of her, super proud of myself. But I'm just in a state right now where I'm not looking back. I'm going to be 40 here in the next couple weeks. I know I look good, right? 40 here in the next couple weeks, and this isn't, again, going to be a whole focus on just getting into the gym. I'm going to do that, but I really want to get my channel going. I've had it for 10 years, and one of the bigger things that's helped myself over the last 2 months is a schedule. I am very much and always been a kind of non-committal, don't have to adhere to a schedule, but I will work my tail off when it comes to my job, but I never committed to a schedule for myself. So I just mapped out, what am I doing through the week? What am I doing every single day? Whether if it's the gym, if it's grocery shopping, if it's cooking. And I've been tired, and not pushing myself to the limit where I just don't want to go back to the gym. But the whole I don't feel like it just hasn't been acceptable the last 2 months. So if I get home from work and I know I got to go to the gym, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm tired, no, go to the gym. Get home from the gym, I don't feel like cooking, I gotta cook. So it's just been a thing of, like, I saw some TikTok and it was talking about embrace the suck, and I don't want to be cliche, but man, it's been enjoyable. Like, for things that I don't want to do, I've been doing, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it and embraced the suck, I guess. So right now I'm headed to the gym. Like I said, I'm going to do my push day and cardio, which is, chest, triceps, some shoulders, and then my cardio plan is to do about a minimum of 40 minutes as far as cardio goes on the treadmill. And I'm going to try to get some footage. Wife, she wants to go to Planet Fitness, and the old me, like, I'm never stepping foot inside Planet Fitness. I have a membership here, as well as LA Fitness, or she has a membership here, but she can bring a friend. But it's always dead, so it's kind of nice just to come in here and, there's just nobody. I mean, a few people, but just have some space. And so we'll see. I don't want to be that guy just, with a big old stand recording. So we'll see if I can get some video. And I'm pulling up right now, so let's get after it. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover so I don't get copyrighted for the music in the background, but I do want to keep in mind that I know there might be some new folks watching the video, and then maybe some beginners, and so I want to explain what I'm doing. First thing I'm getting things kicked off with is, of course, chest incline dumbbell press. The goal is 3 sets, 8 to 12 repetitions. I have 50 pounds going up right here, nothing crazy heavy, obviously nothing crazy light. Just want to get the blood flowing and get things moving around. And the progression will get there, week over week. But the goal is just to be active right now. All right, so next we're moving on to flat dumbbell press. Yep, let's get those feet touching the ground, man. All right, so the goal is 3 sets, 8 to 10 repetitions. What you guys will notice is throughout the video and throughout my workout, you'll see when I'm done with a set, then I'm going to look at my watch. I am trying to be extremely mindful of keeping the downtime between sets relatively low, between about a minute to a minute and a half, and that way I can kind of keep my, stay winded, throughout the process. So now moving on to cable crossover. This is going to be on the downward position. And I like to not get too far out. I notice, obviously, over the years that some people like to get what seems like 3, 4, 5 feet out in front of the machine, which for me, I just want to get right underneath it, get my feet propped, and then just start going ahead and then actually crossing over. So you guys look at my hands are actually crossing over across my chest. That way I get a nice squeeze at the bottom half of it. I bring my hands to about shoulder height, just squeeze, coming back on down. So definitely love this movement, love to integrate it. And then I like to go ahead and switch it over for the opposite position. Check out my time. And then the upward movement. Squeeze at the top, squeeze at the top. Feeling good. Again, have my foot steady on the ground, and I'm just pulling through. Almost like I'm hugging somebody. So my arms aren't exactly straight, they're actually bent at the elbow. And then once I get to the top, just squeeze at the top. So just making sure I'm breathing, staying focused. I don't know why I always look up whenever I'm lifting, but I do. Just a habit of mine. Again, gonna go ahead, check my time, making sure that I am keeping it tight between sets. Yep. Music going in my ear, feeling good. Now it's time to transition over to shoulders. First thing, I'm going to get it kicked off with is front lateral raises. One thing I like doing when it comes to front lateral raises is that when it comes to each side or each hand is between or from set to set, I'll actually change the range variation. So what I mean is, as you guys can see right here, going 1, 2, so singular on each side. And then my next set, I'll do 3 on each side, 3 on the other side. Next set, 2 on the other side, 2 on the other side. So I'm going to knock out 3 sets. The goal is between 10 and 12 repetitions here. And just kind of, again, squeeze the top a little bit. Now I've got side laterals, which you guys will notice, or what I'm doing is I like to pull through my elbow. I don't bring it all the way up top past my shoulders because I really don't want to get the rear delts engaged. That's not my goal here. My goal is just to keep it straight on the outer deltoid. Oop, let's go ahead. So now I'm going to go ahead and superset with definitely lighter weight, some behind the back side lateral raises. These burn. Now I'm starting to get that back deltoid. And I love this superset going from the side laterals to the back laterals. So, going to go ahead and move on to triceps. This is a superset. I forget, it's not a superset, but it's 3 movements going on here. What's going on is I have skull crushers. I do 7 reps of that. And then right here I have skull smackers. I do 7 reps of that. And then we have what's called knockers, which I will go ahead, bring it past my head, rock it down, rock it back up, and then do a close grip bench press. And I do 3 sets of essentially 7 per, which is 21, so 21 reps per set. And this is killer. I love to integrate this just to kind of get those triceps nice and pumped to start the workout with. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and get the straight bar tricep push down to really want to get that outer head of the tricep, get some blood pumping in there. So I like to get the straight bar going when I'm doing that. Again, goal here is 3 sets between 12 and 15 repetitions. So keep my elbows tight in, lock down at the bottom, get it going. Now, I have my cardio workouts done. I did have dips, but I did not get that on camera. So right now I'm getting my phone set up to where I can go ahead and watch the baseball game as I'm doing cardio because I gotta watch something. But I wanted to show you guys here is one thing that I learned from an online trainer is make sure I manually adjust my weight on the cardio machine so it's a little bit more accurate when it comes to calories lost. So setting my weight, setting my time, that way I can get more of a read on what I'm actually doing. And I'll set my time for 2.2 or 2.3 just to get a nice light walk going. So I give myself between 2 and 3 minutes. Over the last week, I started intervals. So I'll do 2 to 3 minutes where I have a nice brisk walk going, where then I'm going to go ahead and transition into a jog for about a minute to a minute and 15 seconds, which I'm extremely proud of myself because I initially started off with about 30 seconds at the beginning of the last 2 weeks. And then just progressively, week over week went from 30 seconds to about 45 seconds. And now I'm about a minute 10 to a minute 15. And then I'll just do this every 3 minutes until I get to my goal. Alright, so back in the whip, workout is done. Shoulders are tight, chest is tight, triceps are tight. It's getting hot out here in Arizona, so I had to throw on the shades. It's getting real bright. It's just after 12:30. Had a really good session. Cardio complete. And so I am super hungry. Trying to decipher what I want to do. I am thinking that I want to stop at Sprouts. For those that aren't familiar with Sprouts, it's called Sprouts Farmers Market, but it's not like your actual farmers market where you go to an open parking lot per se, or parking lot, and they have a lot of mom and pop vendors. It's not like that. It's more of a grocery store where there's a lot of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, organic, and it is something where you're going to pay more, but you pay for what you get type of situation. And I do like to get my meats from there if I can, steak, pork, fish, things like that. And so what I'm thinking is one of two things. I think I might get some shrimp, or I might get some steak, like skirt steak, and season that up. I have some onions, some tomatoes, some limes. So I think I might throw that on the grill, season it up, throw it on the grill. Something super easy, high in protein. It just tastes good, honestly. I really don't, again, want to really go somewhere and eat out. Been really trying to stay on. Let me just cook myself, and been really enjoying it. One thing that my wife put me on to, and this is for a while now, is I was never really much of a cook per se, but I've always enjoyed cooking, and she talks about romanticizing things that you do. And so I'd say probably the last 2 or 3 years, again, I've always cooked, but really going out of my way of learning different recipes, the way different seasonings taste, not salt and pepper, different seasonings taste, red wines, vinaigrette, or red wine, red wine vinegar, and Worcestershire sauce, and just different types of liquids and spices to really turn foods into something else where it's enjoyable for you. And so I highly recommend, guys, if you're you have 4 or 5 things that you're used to cooking, cool, continue to do that. But I definitely recommend just TikToking, YouTubing, and different types of meals and different types of recipes, and you could tweak it to make it your own way. But I definitely recommend that. And I've been romanticizing cooking, and it makes the meal prep a lot easier because it actually tastes good versus just bland baked chicken, rice. Again, salt and pepper is not seasoning, it's a flavor enhancer. So, you know, learn how to use different seasonings, and trust me, it'll go a long way. University YouTube is fantastic. So I'm gonna hit Sprouts. Hopefully it's not too packed. It is Sunday, so it's probably gonna be pretty busy with folks getting set, you know, for the work week. Thankfully this week I work from home. I do have a hybrid schedule, so I'll be working from home, so I don't have to do anything too crazy, because honestly earlier this week we stocked up on a few different things, but not steak, and I have the hankering for either steak or shrimp, or maybe both. So we'll see. But let's get in this grocery store.
Hello.
What's going on, man? Pretty good, pretty good. Can I get 2 pounds of the chimichurri steak? Alright, so if you have not tried the chimichurri steak from Sprouts, I highly recommend it. It's a little bit expensive. It's like, what was it in there? I think like $15.99 a pound, but it's worth it. So that is it. Got a couple Cajun skewers. Gonna go home, throw it on the grill, let the grill do its thing. Invest in a grill, please, if you don't have one. So again, shout out to my boy Robert Frank, Headbands. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing well. But like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys checking out the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.